Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. I know this is out of nowhere. I am in my dorm right now. Yeah, this is a college setup. I'm gonna need y'all to definitely get y'all snacks together because I know this is definitely a long video. This is 18 hours before my trip. I am chilling, getting everything settled together. So let's get this over with. Alright, people, we are leaving the dorm. My bed's, yes, kind of messy. We got the setup. Today will be an adventure. Here we go. I'll meet you at the station, or MBTA station. This is Auburndale Station. This is one of the 3 stations on the Worcester line that has only one platform for trains going eastbound and westbound. Today I will be going eastbound to Boston to get on my Lakeshore Limited. But this station was born in 1961. Yes, born. And it is due for renovation. You see the sign in the video right here. My camera could not keep up with the speed that the lights are flashing on this sign. So basically it's saying my train is coming in 2 minutes. But this station is really unique. And here goes my train coming in to Boston. And here we enter one of MBTA's bi-level coaches. This coach is one of the older ones, one of the Kawasaki ones. Lately, MBTA have been ordering new coaches from Hyundai, however you say it. So, if I were to go on one in the future, I'd show y'all, but the lights are really nice on it. Barely any legroom on here either, though. And now we are at Boston South Station. Once again, in my Lakeshore Limited video that I did a while back, this station has a lot of history inside of it. But they've added something new. So since that video, they've been working on a hotel above the station, and they added a new entrance. This very tall arc-looking thingy. It's really nice. I really like it a lot. So once again, now we are walking inside of South Station. South Station, a very old station, one of the busiest stations on the corridor, being the terminating point for regionals, Acellas, and some MBTA trains. Now we are in South Station. I had to get myself a little meal. We got a Dr. Pepper and Auntie Anne's pretzel dogs and a big pretzel. Thank you to 2 people for putting me on to this. We have number 1, Joey or Joseph, CTSL rail fan. This is his thing right here. Then we have a new rail fanner that we just put on to the game, CT Rail Productions. Matt right here. He's a small channel wanting to grow, so if y'all want to go sub to him, go do it. He's starting to get there, so make sure y'all go and check out his videos and stuff. But I have about an hour until I depart, so I'll update y'all when it's departure time while I dig into this meal. And this is my friend that came to visit me before I left today. This is NA Real Fanning Productions. Go and subscribe to his stuff. Do you have anything to say for my trip today?
So Yeah, we're here at South Station. We're just looking at our phones. Pretzel.
Hell yeah. Pretzels.
Pretzels are always good.
Dr. Pepper still.
Oh, Dr. Pepper is awesome.
Yep, so he'll be recording my train away. And y'all will see in the video. But, once again, I'll update y'all when I get inside the train. After an abrupt boarding call, we are now boarding 449 to Chicago, soon to later be 49 in Albany. Once again, like last time, an Amfleet 2 layout. Sometimes they get unlucky and have an Amfleet 1, which is horrible, but Amfleet 2s are the move. If you ever want to go on a long distance train, don't ever be scared to get a roomette. Amfleet 2s are really comfortable. The legroom, once again, very wide. We look around. I'm taking off my book bag so we can be comfy for this 24-hour trip that it will be taking me today. We look around again. I move some stuff out the way, and then now we look out the window. We have my curtain right here. Then we look above us, and we have a light to lamp for your reading. The cushion on the seat, I forgot to do this last time, very soft as you can see. And then now, when I get under me, we can look at the leg rest that you will have on your trip if you want to. And then move my stuff out the way. Now we're departing South Station on a on-time departure. And you can see a video of my train recorded by NA Railfan Productions. As we start making our way through Boston, we are going to start queuing up the music and let you have a nice view of what I see. Here we go. We are now on the train. We are about to be in Framingham any second now. I have to be quiet because everyone's sleeping. And I don't want to bother anybody. But right now, this is such a comfy trip. I got a new headphone set so y'all can hear me better, but right now this is really nice and relaxing. I'll try to update y'all as much as I can throughout this trip. I'll be starting my live stream at 7. Whoever joined the live, I'm saying thank you in advance already, because obviously I won't see the video until the live is out, but thank you so much for joining. And I'll be starting at 7. I'll put some clips in there later in the video, but right now, this is a good trip. I'll update y'all when we are in Springfield area. But for now, enjoy the views. we are pulling into Worcester. This station is the terminating point for MBTA and a major yard for CSX freight. This station is pretty nice. Doesn't look like a station you should rail fan. And as you see, the MBTA yard right there. This station we are about 15 minutes early to, so we sit here for a little bit, but we do not get out the train, unfortunately, to adventure. And now, after our nice little wait here at Worcester, we are on our way to Springfield, Massachusetts. About an hour and a half away from Worcester. Worcester is a really nice station, as I said earlier. And now we are looking at the building that this station is connected to. This is a really nice Union station. As you've seen on the door, it said Historic Union Station, so this would probably be the only nice part of Worcester to go to. I don't know too much about Worcester since, once again, I'm from Connecticut, so I wouldn't know any of the bad things happen out there. But as we look in the nice city, it looks pretty nice around the train station area, so if anyone wanted to rail fan Worcester, you should definitely do it near the daytime. Most stations, nighttime is not the best to rail fan at all. But this city is really beautiful. And for now, I'll let y'all get a little bit of train ASMR of what it sounds like riding in the coaches. I know you probably want to hear that and not too much music. So I'll let you for a few minutes listen to the nice, beautiful sound of Amfleet 2 going through the rails. Now we do a fast jump cut to Springfield. Springfield I toured in the last video as well, and I've rail fanned here a few times. In the video, I couldn't show it due to me not wanting to record people's faces, but behind me was a Vermonter train reversing out of the station to go up to Vermont, train number 54. We are still in Springfield. We got here at like 3:12. Now it's like 3:23. We've been on time to all of our stations. 10 minutes early to each station. But we leave Springfield at 3:26. An update for right now. This trip was really relaxing. I tried getting the most views I can, but I've been falling asleep. Because these Amfleet 2s are comfy as hell. The seats are way different than anything else. But, we will be in Albany in about 3-ish hours. Our next stop is Pittsfield or something like that. And then we're in Albany, and that's when we have the layover and I go live. So for right now, this is fire, but enjoy the music and I'll update y'all when we leave our next station. So enjoy everything you're seeing. We are now departing Springfield. Before I cue up the music and I start making y'all listen to more, I have a Q&A question for everybody that is watching the video, and there will be more within the video. So, the first question of this video were the P42s made after the P40s or before the P40s? Leave your answers in the comments below. The questions will progressively get harder throughout the video. If you are a true buff, you will get all of these right. But we are starting off simple. Were P40s made first or P42s made first? Answer the question in the comments. Now we will cue up the music and get our way to Pittsfield, Massachusetts. after an hour and about 40 minutes, we are in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. While we were blocked outside the station for train 448 to get past us, which made us a little late. Albany Rensselaer is our next station. We are about an hour away from that station due to the tight turns that these tracks have, which makes us go at a very low speed majority of the trip. So it takes us a little bit to get there. Pittsfield is a nice little small town outside the main part of Mass. Now we take a look back at our Amfleet 2 cafe car. Nice little upgrade from Amfleet 1. This is nice. And we have our food here, my burger, Sprite, and Skittles as we look out the window. This is a nice little view with very nice cushioned seats once again in the cafe car. As we get into the New York border, we hit a few crossings and we hear our engineer on our train do a nice little horn show. So there is one section on this part that you go pretty fast through to get up into Albany, as we are majority through the time from Pittsfield to Albany. We start picking up our speed, going down the tracks about 60 miles per hour through little small towns in the very east of New York on the Massachusetts border. Nothing special really up here because upstate New York doesn't have all the popularity like South New York does. We look at the nice fields that this part of New York has, and you would even think that this is the same state that Manhattan is in, and Times Square, Grand Central, and the Northeast Corridor runs through. Upstate New York is pretty nice, especially for living, not money-wise, but it is really calm, and nothing really happens up here besides a lot of snow. If you were to want to grow things, this is not the place to really do it in the winter. But as we now cruise into the capital of New York, also note that Albany Rensselaer is not in Albany, New York. We are going through Albany, New York to get to Albany Rensselaer Station. Albany Rensselaer Station is in Rensselaer, New York, but it borders Albany. So it's just called Albany Rensselaer Station, since both towns, cities, share the station. It is a junction point for my train, the Lakeshore Limited, and a terminating point for a lot of the Amtrak services on the Hudson Line. A few trains go through Albany Rensselaer to get to Canada and other parts of Vermont and New York. And also, as we pull into Albany Rensselaer, we will be asking our second question. Are the P32s on Metro North and Amtrak commonly used on the Hudson Line or the Northeast Corridor? The first 3 people to comment all the correct answers with no edits in their comment will get a shout out. This means you have to be one of the first 3 people to comment all your answers without the edit in the comments and get all of them or majority of them right. But now we pull into Albany Rensselaer Station. Let's go look at our live stream.
Oh my god. Oh my. Yo. Oh my.
We leave Albany, combining with Train 49 to make us Train 49 on our way to Schenectady. All the people who joined our live, thank you so much. NA Rail Finning Productions, New England Trains and Aviations, Jonkler, Jody Wright, Rainy Girl 65, North Rails, the New Jerseyan C&W fan, please correct me in the comments, and Central Connecticut Rail fan. Thank you all. This is the Amfleet 2 bathroom. It's pretty nice. Once again, here's the window. What's the sink? down, then the water comes out. It's not automatic, so towels, toilet, flush. That's everything you need to see. And as we leave our next station, Schenectady, we have a little while until our next stop. And our next stop in about an hour and 15 minutes is Utica, New York. Utica is a nice college that a friend of mine went to. And now we look at my computer as we are loading up Train Simulator. And we jump cut to Utica because there is no scenery to show between the trip until now. We look at all the heritage cars that ran on this route before Amtrak. And now we depart Utica for our next station in about another hour and few minutes, which is Syracuse, New York. Syracuse has a very famous D1 school, Syracuse, and a lot of people know Syracuse for that college. Lights are off. They're not making station announcements anymore. And it's time to take myself to sleep. Today was a very long day. I have been on this train for 10 hours. It is going to be 10 hours and 13 minutes. I'll be up. I don't know what time I'm going to be up. It's time to go to sleep. I will see y'all tomorrow. Good morning. I'm awake again after a nice slow nap or nice slow sleep. It is now 9 in the morning. We are flying right now. We're going over like 80 crossings. I've been here in Horn for like the last 10 minutes. Get some breakfast. So, come get breakfast with me. And, good morning once again. As we are stopped in one of our stations, I got our breakfast, as I said just a few moments ago. And our breakfast today is a nice one. Today we got a sausage, egg, and cheese Bailey with a Sprite. And now we depart our station. This part of the route is really nice. You see fields, a nice sunrise. You see a lot of houses, new environment, especially where I came from. Not too building like out here, and a lot of freight on this line. A lot of freight. But our next station will be Elkhart. Elkhart is a very common station on the bus with the Railcam Live that is on that station. you'll see another cool thing that is on the end of the Railcam Live. And as we look into the distance, we see more fields and more freight cars. This train had a nice little surprise to it that the Railcam Live showed, but I cannot show due to me not wanting to get trouble by Railcam Live for using their clip unless I credit them. But I have no access to accessing their messaging and whatnot. But now, in a second, we are going to cue up the music for our next 2 stations coming up on the trip, which will be Waterloo in about 15 to 20 minutes, Waterloo, Indiana, and then right after that, a half an hour to an hour later, Elkhart, Indiana, where all the people.
You're unbreakable. Feeling powerful. Nothing's getting in the way. You're unbreakable. You're invincible. Be unbreakable again. Unbreakable.
As we depart our next station, Elkhart, Indiana, a lot of passengers join us here, but the trip is starting to come to an end in our next few stations. South Bend, Indiana, and Chicago, Illinois. But something happens along the way, and you'll see in a few moments. But now, get your more ASMR.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen, the next station stop will be South Bend, Indiana. South Bend, Indiana, in approximately 20 minutes. Once again, 20 minutes, South Bend.
Another quick update while sitting here. Our train has a defect. They are outside observing the train right now. We'll probably be sitting here for a few minutes. They're about to try to find out what's the issue. Because we just came to a hard stop. I think it's a defect. I hope it's a defect. Because that's like the hardest stop we went from like 60 to 0 in like a minute. Like it was a hard stop. Everyone jumped forward. So I think we have a defect. So I'll update y'all when I find out more information, but we are stuck outside of Elkhart right now. The freight train on the side of us. I seen the conductor and engineer walking the train like a few minutes ago. They're down there, so we'll see. So we had a mechanical issue. They're slowly moving the train without power somehow. The engineer just released the brakes. They're doing a test, I'm assuming, to see if we can move. But that's what's going on. Just like that. Power's back on. We are on the move. We are approximately 20 to 30 minutes late now. Probably 15. We'll see when we get to South Bend. 2 stations left for this trip. Only 2. The time zone hasn't switched yet. It is 10:30. We are probably going to get there at 10:30 their time, or 10:45 their time. Our scheduled arrival is 11:24, but we are not gonna be that late, so we'll see. But have a fun look at the scenery. I'll update y'all when we leave South Bend about a ride in Chicago. And now our next question of the video. This one's not gonna be as easy, but we'll see. What is the first electric locomotive Amtrak has ever used? Comment in the comments below, and let's see if we get it right. Back on to the video. Outside of South Bend on our way to Chicago. A little bit more scenery left from this station to the next station. This trip was really nice. We are about an hour out from Chicago, but soon you can see it in the distance later in the video. But Chicago is a really nice station, and we'll be seeing it in a moment. I am changed back into my original outfit. He said 90 minutes from South Bend, so I'm assuming that's also including the time zone switch. We're passing another crossing. I don't know what line that is with all the catenary over there. Like, I see all the wires, but I don't know what that is. Y'all see over there? It's another track. But yeah, we are going to be in Chicago soon. I am going to rail fan a few of the metro stations, or possibly one. We'll see what the temperature is outside and what's everything looking like. I've never been in this area, so I gotta be careful. But yeah, I had to get my hair right. Yeah, everything's coming to an end. This trip was 20, almost 24 hours. It'll be 23 hours and some change of me sitting on this train. It went by kind of honestly fast. But I'll update y'all one more time when we're pulling into Chicago, and then that'll be the end of the trip. I'm plotting on making this the same video as the way back, or making it its own video. So we'll see what I feel like, but hopefully y'all have fun. I'll update you one more time when we get closer. Now we're going through some small towns in Indiana, about a good 30-40 minutes out from Chicago. Time zone is switched back to 10 a.m. So once again, it's now 10 o'clock all over again, even though it was just 10:40. So now we have about 40-ish minutes out from Chicago. We're gonna be in Illinois pretty soon. It just takes a little bit to get into Chicago due to the fact that there's many other lines going into Chicago in Metro. Other freights are also getting in the way too. So we'll see how smooth we can get into Chicago.
If you let me walk away, maybe then we'd lose it all. No. Who am I to let you
We are now finally arriving in Chicago. This trip was very long. As I said, we just made it under 24 hours. About 30 or 40 more minutes would have been exactly 24 hours. But now we are pulling into Chicago. We're in the ghetto-ness part of it right now, but we'll get to the nicer part eventually. Chicago's not a place y'all want to be going, though. It is not for any buff. Like, you gotta have experience with, like, weirdos in order to go here. It's shootings and bad things that happen here, so do not come to Chicago to walk around this part. If you want to come to Chicago, go to the city. The city is good. Certain parts. Like, go to where all the tourists go. But now we're getting into a little bit of a better part. This is just a big empty parking lot. But yeah, as you see over there, all the nice stuff's over there. And right here, it looks like this is the NFL stadium. Or this is a baseball field, never mind, not NFL. Yep, this is where the White Sox play. Coming from where I'm at, the Red Sox are our home team. But, this is really nice. I thank y'all so much for watching this. I'm gonna talk to y'all a little bit more when we get out the train, show the station and stuff. And, I guess we'll add the Metro, train into this video too, because why not? So, be ready to see some Metro action. That's a bonus to this video. So I'll update y'all when I get off the train, but this was a 9 out of 10 trip. The conductors were actually nice compared to last time. The cafe attendant, I became his best friend basically. Like, everything was was good. The only thing that I didn't like was the person who sat next to me while sleeping. She was getting me a little annoyed, but she ended up moving anyway. But this trip was a 9 out of 10. I very much recommend it for any bus I want to try a long distance train. This is where you should start out and then work your way up to like the Zephyr and all that. But now we are arriving in Chicago, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll update y'all when we get out the train, but this was a very good trip. Very good trip. So we are finally getting to the end of our trip. We're going through still some of the streets of Chicago. Takes about 10 minutes from seeing the actual city to getting into the actual station. So you'll be seeing a lot of scenery around here and a lot of freight rails, lines, and the yard in a second. And we are now looking at Chicago. I would do a city tour, but Chicago is too dangerous to be touring around. So, as you will be able to only see it from a distance today. But some parts ain't that dangerous, though. Not compared to some of the towns in Connecticut. But it is more dangerous than some of the towns in Connecticut, but still, Bridgeport is also up on that level. But now we are passing through the yard outside of Chicago, and here they store a lot of equipment going down from Metra to Amtrak and BNSF. As we look, we see a F40 MPCU with 2 ALCs coupled to it, 3 actually, with some P42s in the back. The shop is very big too. Mechanical is not the best out here, but it is still running better than the Northeast Corridor. So we have a look at some more ALCs and some SC44s. BNSF locomotive right here. We see some bridges over us. The station is the nice part of Chicago. So now we also got some Horizons, a baggage car, and a multi-level viewing lounge. Now we are arriving into Chicago after all of the yard that you just seen. Chicago is one of the biggest stations in the country, home to all of the long distance trains that have superliner cars, known as the Empire Builder, California Zephyr, Texas Eagle, and more. There's also a few small services running out of here, like the Hiawatha and Illinois Zephyr, those type of trains, with the home and the end terminating point for all Metro trains. Now we are exiting our train to the platform after being in this car for over 24 hours, being stuck, having a whole journey. That's our Lakeshore Limited trip. It was a very, very fun trip, and I gave it a 9 out of 10 due to the sleeping part, being able to be next to the window, having a very comfy seat, and the trip not being too bad. We get stuck in a certain amount of parts of the video, but honestly, I'll give this actually 8 out of 10. It was really good. The food was good. But this is not a really true long distance train. It's just one night. Now we see our locos. And in Albany, it seems they have added another P42 to the front. Don't know if ours was having issues or not, but that's something cool to see. Now we are on the south side of Chicago Union Station. Chicago Union Station, as I said earlier, is one of the biggest stations in the country. So on the south side, you will be able to get on trains like the Southwest Chief, the California Zephyr, the Illinois Zephyr, Texas Eagle, and more. Most of the metro trains run on the south side too, as the north side has a line or two, but not as much as the south side. Now I decided to do a little extra trip for y'all guys because I wanted to buff a little bit while I had a layover in Chicago. Now we are getting on a metro train to the BNSF Raceway. So this is one of the metro double-decker cars. Has a weird layout to it. This is how you get up to the upper level. It's a really tight, narrow space, as you could tell. This is how most commuters would be. Not really too fancy on the organization of the car and the comfiness, but these seats were surprisingly comfier than I thought they would be, with a lot of cushioning to them. The legroom is decently alright. Have to fit little things in there, and the seat cushion is pretty nice too. As I said, we do a bonus. As you see, I'm on the metro now. This is not what I thought it'd be like at all. Not exact. No, this is way different. I didn't know upper level was tight like this. But we are going to Harlem Avenue. We're in Harlem Ave for a few minutes, and then we'll do our last actual part of the trip review, the Hiawatha. This was extra add-on because I have such a layover between my trains. I had the time to go do this, so we're gonna do this, and hopefully it's fun. But I'll catch y'all when it's time to get off the train, and I'll show some scenes as well, but these windows are not it.
If you're still here, thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like this video, and comment your favorite part. Thank you for riding with Rod and Rail Fan or 16.
Alright, we are about an hour into the video. If you are still watching, you can have a break. You don't have to sit here on your computer or your phone and keep watching. If you want to go take a drink of water, go to the bathroom, do anything, you go and do that now. You are a very good person. Hope you know that for watching. This trip in total took me 70 something hours, so sorry for having it come out late. And yes, you don't have to think your computer's broken. This is an all-black screen. If you want to see a picture of a train, I'll add one here. This is a BNSF locomotive. You see it? It's a freight train, a very long one. When you see the video, or the video might be out by the time this video comes out, because this is going to be a very long video, 70-some hours, as I said. We'll have this long train in the video too. I don't know if I'm going to have this out before or after, but by the time this video comes out, y'all know. This was a very long train, but the Metro Raceway was a very, very nice station. I won't add my review on it in the actual video of the rail fanning, but I'm going to have it on here. It was a really nice station. The Chinese food spot was very amazing. Everything was so good about it. Train almost every few minutes, and it was a weekend schedule, so a weekday schedule is probably going to be 90 times more packed. So now as we go back to the black screen, one last question for the people that are actually watching. Is the Hiawatha service the St. Paul, or the Borealis? Comment down below which one you think it is, Hiawatha or Borealis. Now, we are back in Chicago after our railroad trip, going to the north side of the station to get on my Hiawatha train. We'll only be going to Milwaukee. The Hiawatha is a small service, not too common for people to get on, and not too many people know of it. But as we walk over from south to north, you get hit with a lot of things, a lot of food. At the time I was hungry, so I got nothing because I was not going to spend bank on the food places there. You had Chick-fil-A, you have Sbarro's, and some other spots. Jumbo to your right. So you take a left to the escalators over here, and this will bring you down to the north side of the station. The north side of the station is home to the Hiawatha, the Borealis, and the Empire Builder to Seattle. Metro also runs on this side, but it's not too many trains that come out the north side of the station. The south side has more major cities, so more Metro trains run down that way. They also have the BNSF line that I just was on. So, in order to get on Hiawatha, the boarding's call is way different, but we'll get to that later. As I go to adventure more of the station, I run into the main concourse, the nicest part of the station. Chicago Union Station's lobby has a very, very, very nice scenic view. There is a lot to look at, and to your left is the Amtrak Lounge for business class and sleeper passengers. If I knew this was a part of the station, I would have came here many, many, many times, but this is a really nice scene to look at. This is the boarding process for the Hiawatha service. This service was also boarding when a train to someplace in Illinois was also boarding. I didn't get to catch the number because I was very annoyed that we was standing there for 30 minutes to board our train. So as we walk through our line to get to the Hiawatha, they have you go through two sections, basically. The first one, you're standing outside of the Amtrak doors, and they line everyone up against the wall and wait for them to allow boarding. Then the second stage is they send you inside the line. You stand in the line inside the little pew area, and you sit there and wait until the boarding process truly starts. So now the process is started, and we walk to the north side of the platform. Metro has a few lines running over here and a new locomotive. Which leads to our next question. Metra recently got a new logo for their trains. What is the engine called? Comment in the comments. But now we go to our train. Our train is getting trailed today by our MPCU unit F40. You really don't see these too often, and they're starting to make a bunch of our Amtrak locals and electrics MPCUs, since the Metroliner cars are not reliable. So now you see the Horizon coaches. By the time I'm recording this, the Horizon coaches are unfortunately taken out of service due to issues that Amtrak has seen in all their coaches. Now we are in a Horizon coach. Basically has the same layout as the Amfleet one. Same seats, just a little bit newer than Amfleet one. So now we sit down and I adjust my bag. The legroom is pretty alright. We got the window, nice window. We got the overhead light. The seat cushion, same as Amfleet 1, very comfortable. Seat reclines pretty far back.
After a long day of rail fanning Metro, getting off my lakeshore earlier, I'm doing my last Metro. I said I was gonna do a trip review, but no. I showed a little clip, but no. But the real true last trip review is this Hiawatha service. You've seen from the outside we were in comment coaches. See about a window. It has Amfleet 1 layout, Amfleet 1 seats, just different shell. This trip's only an hour and a half, so there's not really too much I can cover, unlike the lakeshore. So when we get to Milwaukee, that's when the video ends, but this is a little update that I have for right now. So here we go, leaving Chicago. But yeah, so I'll update y'all when we get halfway through the route. So look at the scenery. So have a good one.
Now we have a view of the Horizon coach bathroom. The Horizon coach bathroom is very spacious. It has a lot more room than the Amfleet 1 bathrooms. Since these coaches are newer, it is really, really nice. So they take care of their bathrooms pretty well in this area. So good tour. And as we are looking outside, we see nice Chicago. We will get back to our music now, as y'all see the scenery of the first few minutes of our trip.
So, a little update again, because every train I'm getting on today has something crazy. So, we just came to an emergency stop because there was a car stuck on the tracks. We had to put on full brakes. They're doing a 4MD right now. That is our conductor right here. So a car was stuck on the tracks and we had to come to a full stop. The engineer laid on the horn for at least 30 seconds before we came to an abrupt stop. Oh, everything's clear now. He went into emergency brake. We had to reload the brakes. And now we're gonna go on the move again. So we're coming to a little hard of a stop right now. And earlier I said comments, I meant horizons. I meant horizons. I know y'all gonna correct me, I meant horizons. But yeah, that's literally what just happened. Now we're stuck out of Suburban, or whatever it's called. And we'll be there in a few minutes, but that's an update that I had to inform. And here we go. I'll update you again when we get to Milwaukee.
Okay, we are approaching our next station. I do not have the energy to look for my headphones right now, but we are approaching our next station, Sturnevant. Yes. We will be there any second now. This trip's actually very comfy. Besides what happened earlier, but there goes, I guess, Sturnevant outside. Oh, at the wind turbines over there. The sun beaming in my face over there. Update y'all more when I get to Milwaukee, as I said earlier. Very cool. What is happening? They have to get the bar lift to the door so someone can get wheelchaired off. It's not really rare that you actually see this machine in use. Basically what that does is it lifts up and it carries a person onto the train or off the train. It's the sign down there, the only sign that I've seen yet.
and gentlemen, momentarily arriving final schedule station stop, downtown Milwaukee Intermodal Depot. While you take the time to gather your personal items, make sure you double check many things get left on trains. Make sure you leave the train with everything you brought onto the train. And as always, the only doors that will be opening for our final schedule station stop are doors 3C and conductor. Ladies and gentlemen, now arriving downtown Milwaukee Intermodal Depot. Final scheduled station stop. On behalf of the entire crew, thank you for choosing Amtrak as your means of transportation.
And just like that, we are finally here. And just like that, we are finally at the end of the route. Finally, after 29 or 30 hours since I decided to rail fan, we're finally at the end of the journey. I'm here to meet a few of my conductor friends. We're gonna chill, have fun, and yeah, I give this trip a 9 out of 10. This was really fun. I would much do this again any day. But my next trip I'm trying to do is to California. 4-day trip. California Zephyr. That's what I would plan to do next, but we'll see how this summer goes with work. But if y'all enjoyed, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, ask those questions, and I will see y'all for the Cardinal video coming out a few days after this one comes out. You'll have a good one.